will see them. Thank you. You can see his little talons and the sharp beak there. But don't be fooled. He can be very, very snarky if he wants to. And he can scratch you with those talons. Let's see if we want to get a picture of you. So I'm going to show you guys how different owl feathers are than any other bird. Did you guys know that? That owls have very unique, very special feathers. And the reason they have very special feathers is you have to think about it. They're the only birds awake at night, aren't they? Bats aren't birds, and all other animals awake at night aren't birds, right? So they have very unique feathers, and I'm going to show you guys that. In my hand here is a diurnal bird. Remember, diurnal means a daytime bird? This is an eagle feather, okay? So we know eagles are, a bald eagle. And we know bald eagles are awake in the daytime. Oh, did he just cough up a pellet?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never had that happen before. I'll pick it up later, guys. We'll pick it up and look at it later. And Mindy was just asking me that the other day. Has any of the birds coughed up a pellet in class? And I said no yesterday. Now I can say yes. But we'll look at it later. It's about this big. I'll pick it up later, right? Remember, we don't want to scare Snoopy, guys. We'll look at it later. So the eagle feather, again, is a daytime bird. So you want to hear what this feather sounds like? Listen carefully. It's quite loud, isn't it? Because the sound you're hearing is just the air bouncing off the feather. Because eagles and other daytime birds like hawks and falcons and seagulls and things like that, they're all daytime hunters. So their feathers are built to be fast for speed. Because their food, that fish, that rat can see them. They just have to be faster than them and turn quicker, right? So keep that in mind. Now let's listen to an owl feather. Anyone want to guess what kind of owl this came from? Hi, Snoopy. Hi. What kind of owl do you think?
Great horned owl.
Great horned owl. Good job. Do you want to hear what the owl feather sounds like? Listen to this. Can you hear anything? It's silent. Has anyone read about silent flight before? That's what it is. It's the ability for an owl to fly around and not make a single noise. Because they have to be sneaky. They're hunting at night. They don't want that mice to hear them coming. So they fly slower, quietly, and the mice don't even know what hit them. They're kind of like stealth hunters, right? And the way they're able to do it is all how their feather's built. So when you guys touch and feel the feather, sorry Snoopy's just a little scared because my hand's close, is one side of the feather is very soft and fuzzy. So the eagle feather isn't. So what you're hearing with the eagle feather was just hitting and bouncing off the feather. The owl feather is soft and fuzzy, so the air was just gliding over it, right? And also the edge of the feather, where my finger's pointing here, there's little hairs sticking up like a comb. Whereas the eagle feather doesn't have that. So that when the air passes through and between the hairs, it's silent. It breaks up the wind. And that's how they're silent. Only owls have feathers like this because they're the only birds awake at night. So do you guys want to feel it for yourself? Okay, so be very gentle with them. I'm going to let you pass around the wings here. These are wings from an eagle. I'll let you guys touch these. Just because we don't want to scare Snoopy, though, I'm going to ask you guys not to do the flap test with these because he might think that it's a big owl or a big eagle in the room and it might really, really scare him. So all I want you guys to do is just to touch and feel. Yeah, will it scare you, hon? Yeah. I don't know what he's saying. I talk to the birds, okay? I don't understand them and they don't understand me. No, I'm not a bird whisperer, no. And so you can touch the feathers, feel what they feel like. These might feel fake, but they're not. These are real. They're from an eagle. And you can look and see that, oh, yeah, no, there's no hairs or anything. So I'll let you start that off on that end for your students. And then I'll let you guys pass around. This is from a great horned owl, this wing here. And that's the type of bird you're going to meet today. Now, the great horned owl you are going to meet today, she is going to have only one wing, and I'll explain what happened to her. This isn't her other wing, but it did come from a great horned owl. So just by feeling these feathers here would be exactly like touching Snoopy or Betty because they're owl feathers. And if you want to see the little hairs, you can see them really well right on the top, right where my finger's pointing. So I'll let you start them off on the other end, please, Mr. Glenn. They'll come to you, sweetheart. They'll come to you. So that's how owl feathers are different. It's all for the silent flight, right? And I was saying too that these birds don't like to be touched, and you know they would scratch you if they do. But I'm also going to let you know that it's actually not healthy for people to touch these birds either, because all birds, especially owls, have a special oil on their feathers that keep them dry. So all the rain that we're having, these birds actually don't get wet. When the rain hits them, the raindrops just kind of form balls and it rolls off their body, right? But if you guys were to touch these owls, you had the oils that you have on your hands would strip away and take away the oils off their feathers. So when I would take them back to owl and they're supposed to get rain tonight, they're going to get all wet and then they're going to get cold and then they might catch a cold. They might get sick, right? So that's why another reason why I can't let you guys touch them, because it's just it could make them sick. But that's why it's safe to touch those there, right? So on that note, I'm going to sit here and I'll show you guys here. This is the size, that's a big one. Look at the size of the pellet that he coughed up. So he had a mouse last night for dinner, and that's the pellet. So if you guys like, you guys can keep this as a little parting gift if you want. So look at that, just a little, it's a little wet, it's a little moist, yeah. So yeah, if you guys want a picture, that's Snoopy's pellet. And we'll let you get both the classes share this pellet, and you can say it's a gift from Snoopy.
It's a video.
Oh, it's a video. Okay. So I'll let you
I'll
guys
have
keep
it.
this, Mr. Gwen. I'll put it kind of on the corner if you want right there. So before I have to put Snoopy away though, guys, I have a time for a couple of questions. Yeah? How do you say bye? Good job. Did you have a question? No, just stretching. Who has a question they'd like to ask? Yes.
How old is Snoopy?
Very good question. How old Snoopy is? We have no idea. Because these birds, they get full grown from anywhere from 2 months to 4 months old, right? So Snoopy was probably this size as soon as he was about 2 or 3 months old. So unless we get them when they're a baby, yeah, we have no clue how old he is. All we can say is that he's at least 3 years old, because that's how long we've had him.
Okay. If the oil comes off of him, how do you get it back on?
It does grow back on naturally. They have like a little thing on their back that kind of spits out the oil. It just takes a long time. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to keep him inside for quite a while until it was all covering all around his
You
feathers
don't
and
have
stuff.
to put on, like you don't, like with special gloves, you don't have to.
No,
put the oil on
he would spread it himself using his beak and stuff like that. So he would kind of clean his feathers and spread it around himself. But it would just take some time for him to do that. Because especially you can imagine it's really hard to get it along his back. So it would take a long time for him to kind of spread it around.
And
Sorry?
can you do the full head all?
Well, he doesn't because of his head damage, but we'll do it with the next owl.
If the person didn't find Snoopy as soon as whoever did, could he have died?
Yeah, he probably would have died. Yeah, if nobody found him, yeah, he probably would be with us right now. And, oh, yeah. What else is on? Oh, maybe like these clips and stuff. These are just, it's a leash because all our birds they're called jesses. And it's almost kind of just a way of that we can keep him here so he doesn't take off or anything, even though he can't fly. So it's just like a little leash and stuff to keep him with me. It doesn't bother him. Yeah.
Even they use it for falcons.
Yeah, that's what they do for falcons.
Every single bird.
They definitely do. So I was just looking at the time, and the time is going quickly, and I'm sure you guys would love to meet the next bird. Would you like to meet Betty today? Yeah. So, I know some of you already know how to say goodbye to Betty, and how is it again? There we go, that's right. We just go like this, and that's how we say goodbye to our birds. And I'll let you have one last look at Snoopy. And again, this is a species you can see around here, mainly during winter time. And they like kind of nice forested areas. So at this time of the year, you could probably see some. You just have to look really carefully in the trees for a little small owl. Right? But I'll be right back. I'll have to be right back, and I have to go get Betty first, okay? So if you guys want to sit tight, and I'll be right back with Betty. But thank you for being such good listeners. And if you can keep that up with Betty, that would be great. I'll picture there.
Are you going to come back after?
No, I'll be gone. Right back.
If I was